You here for an interview?
Yes. This book is published and we're going to get things going.
All right now. We're doing it.
Um, when I went to church in New Jersey, this young lady that, is real dear to me, called me. She said, "You're a hidden gift." Excuse me, a gem. She said, hidden gem. And that came back to my mind what God had spoke to me on my way to Philadelphia, the hidden treasure. And God, the one thing about God, he will confirm and affirm. So when she said that, it brought back to my remembrance of what he had told me earlier. You have to know who you are and whose you are. And so that treasure that's been hidden in me is coming forward. And it's time for me to come forward.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Whatever God's will is, I'm all for it.
Yes. Yes.
It shall come.
It shall come. What are you looking for in a guy that you... Did you create a list for God?
I got my wedding written out, honey.
You did?
I have my wedding. Who's my bridesmaid? The only thing is just I don't have the groom on there. I have the bridesmaids, the flower girls, some of the groomsmen, my family, and even the songs. I have it all in my computer. So I'm just waiting on God. And we say that we're waiting on God, but we really need to make preparation. And I haven't done that. Hello, Miss Anika.
Are you excited about this book being released?
Yes, I'm so excited for this book to be released and to reach the hands of various single and saved people because I want them to be empowered. I want them to be inspired. And I believe this book will help some single person out here.
Amen. So let me ask you this. Years ago, you had come to me to publish a book. And here we are back together again.
Yes.
With the marketing of the book. When did the idea for the book first dropped in your heart? Or how many years ago did that happen?
Oh, goodness. This book dropped in my heart back in 2015, I believe it was, or 17, one of the two. But the Lord had pressed upon my heart to reach the single saved people because of my experience in being in the church and being saved and felt like I was inadequate. But I found out I want to help somebody else. Amen. To let them know how important and relevant they are.
Amen. Do you have a lot of friends that are single, or do you meet a lot of young people that are finding it hard to endure the single life? I don't want to say endure like it's a bad thing, but a lot of people make it out to be a bad thing. What have been your experience?
Yes, I talk to single individuals all the time. There are challenges of how can I stay saved and be single, feeling as though that they need somebody. But the first thing I will let them know is you have to know that you are important. You don't need someone else to make you equal. You have to know how important you are to God and know that you're important in your own individual self. If you can be happy being single, you will be able to make somebody else happy along the way when your mate does come.
I love your book. I love the name, Single and Saved, and Now What? Can you give the backstory of how you came up with that name?
Single, saved, and now what? The now what was brought to me when being in church all my life and feeling as though that was it. Just be single, be saved, and nothing else for us to do. But as I grew and matured in God and in life experiences, I knew there were other things that could balance it out, and happy and good fun times without, sinning. And I came to the realization when God dropped in I only had the single saved. And then one day when I was sitting around talking to one of the single women, God dropped in my heart, now what?
Now what? Now what? Can you also elaborate a bit about your journey in singleness and what that's been like as a believer?
What I am facing now, of course, still at my age, being single, but I knew that there was a purpose, and this purpose is now being able to reach other Christian single people. And a woman myself, I find a lot of women coming to me, because they see and, that God has, graced me, but they don't know the back end of my story. And at some points, I do give them of what I encountered, what I endured as a single, saved woman, turning my back on God, making these various mistakes, having a child when I was young out of wedlock. So I would talk to them about, we don't have to go that way. We can live a life of holiness. We don't have to fornicate. We can be clean and we can be pure, but it's all in your mindset. Do you desire to serve God? Do you desire to fulfill your purpose? And sometimes we can hinder our own purpose, but we can walk in our divine purpose in our singleness.
What is the number one advice you have for young women, especially that are waiting on marriage and have been waiting a long time, and it seems like no doors are opening for them?
Some of the key things I would say to a single individual that's been holding and waiting, wondering. First thing, trust God. The Bible lets us know that we have to trust God in all things. So if you trust God, then you can wait on God, and then you can see what God has for you. But if you don't wait, you'll fall for anything. You would settle. But trust, wait, and depend on Him to bring things to pass.
What do you tell someone who feels like giving up?
What I would tell somebody about giving up is, one, giving up, true, that is an option, but that does not have to be your choice. You can keep on persevering. You can keep on pampering and treating yourself right and keep on serving God. And in your serving and in your preparing, you work on yourself. Be happy in yourself. Know who you are. Find out the thing that interests you. Walk in the purpose that God has destined for your life.
How do you fulfill your purpose? As a single person, what do you tell them about fulfilling purpose as being single or not?
Okay, fulfilling your purpose, whether you're single or not, you work in what you're doing now. Do your ministry now, because whether you're married or single, God has a purpose for your life, and that is to reach other people. And when the mate comes, that will all come together, but you are already fulfilling the purpose and plans God has for your life. So work in that, walk in it, and live it out. Yes, my book. I am so elated that I'm able to say my book. If you are interested in knowing some of the steps and some of the things I experienced, I advise you to get my book. Get your pre-order. You can pre-order now at the link below. I partner with Miss Anika, my midwife, in getting this process done, and we are going live on November the 11th. You will get a signed copy by clicking the link below.